Welcome back to our last session of the summer Bible study on the book of Psalms. So as we close up Psalm 46 today, we've come to the end of this psalm of confidence and praise, where God has been our refuge, our fortress, our place of hiding, where God has provided peace and our need in the midst of the tumults in the world and in the nations around us, where God has prevented those who would wield the weapons of war to bring conflict and division, and has made a space for peace. And so it's in that space that these last words are spoken. Be still and know that I am God. I am exalted among the nations. I am exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Selah. When I read this verse 10, to be still and know that I am God, I hear it in two different ways. So the first way I hear it is, in this very much commanding. In the midst of all the tumults around, whether it's the nations or whether it's the mountains trembling or the seas foaming, it is God saying to them, be still. It's like Jesus going in when he's on the boat and saying to the storm, be quiet, be silent, be still, and the storm settling down. And so on the one hand, here is that God who is able to command the wind and the storms and the mountains and the seas and the nations, and saying, be still, as a command. And then I am exalted among the nations. I am exalted among the earth. And so it is this sense of commanding these very things. But I also hear it in a very quiet, comforting way, to where in the midst of our own personal struggles, be still and know that I am God. I am exalted among the nations. I am exalted in the earth. And there you have nothing to trouble about. You have nothing to worry about. I provide you that which you need. I am your fortress. I am your refuge. It is this confidence, but it can also be this command. And I think both have a really important aspect in the midst of this psalm, because here is the God who does hold the power of creation, who holds the heavens and the earth together, saying, be still. And this is the very God who over and over and over in this psalm has been re-emphasized. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. That God is with us. And therefore, what do we have to fear? And so it's in that hope, in that defiant confidence, that I close this little bit of time of reflection on the Psalms, and may we all continue to live in the midst of this dynamic relationship that we have with God, that we can live in this confidence, and even in the midst of the troubles around us, that we can trust that God is the one who we can wonder and be amazed at the creation that God has given us, as we did in Psalm 8. We can live a wholly embodied faith, that involves all of our senses, all of our body, in this back and forth with God. Our eyes, our ears, our nose, our hands, our feet, all of these things are involved in our life with God. It is a faith that can be in that space where we feel God forsaken, and yet continue to reflect back on the times in which God has been present, and go back and forth between the experience of God in other times and the questioning of God in that moment, and finally coming to that point where we do have our prayers answered. and then we can lift up to God in praise. It's that continued journey before the God who is our shepherd and our king. And it's continuing to live in confidence when God is our refuge and our strength. So thank you for joining me on these meditations on the book of Psalms. And thank you for being a part of these summer Bible studies.